List of people who are here that would like to say good words, congratulate Dawn. We'll go on board. Mr. Mike Kovack, the Medina County Auditor.
Let's have another round of applause for Megan. That was incredible. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for taking time out of your day early on a Sunday morning to honor and recognize our wounded warriors. It's the right thing to do. You know, many people talk about Iraq and Afghanistan as the forgotten wars because, quite frankly, the American people as a whole weren't asked to sacrifice during these wars. But the American military and the families of the American military certainly were. You know, many people tend to dismiss these wars also because the number of killed in action were fairly low, just about 7,000 lost heroes between the two. And on my second tour of duty for Iraqi freedom, I remember talking to someone about that, a medic. And let's face it, we keep track of our wars by the number of heroes we lost, rightly or wrongly. And he pointed out two things to me. First of all, the Iraq and Afghanistan wars were the first wars in our history to be fought with large numbers of civilian contractors. Statistics indicate that over 8,000 contractors lost their lives of American companies in Iraq and Afghanistan. But the larger part of our discussions, at least for today, are the wounded in action from these conflicts. In the American Civil War, for every American death, there were 2 casualties on the battlefield. In World War II, the statistics weren't much better. For every death, there were less than 3 wounded heroes in action. And in Vietnam, there weren't quite 4 wounded in action for every death on the battlefield. And in Iraq and Afghanistan, through the marvels and advances of medicine, by some estimates, there were 16 wounded warriors for every death on the battlefield. And God bless the angels in the medical field across all the medical services for the miracles they performed again and again on the battlefields across the Middle East. But now let's put that in context. The Vietnam conflict had 50,000 killed in action with about 150,000 wounded in action. Iraq and Afghanistan, with the civilian contractors, had about 15,000 killed in action, but over 240,000 wounded in action. Our wounded warriors. They are who we honor today. The United States of America and every single one of us owes those wounded warriors a debt. We all owe those warriors a continuing debt that they carry every single day. And though we can never repay that debt, events like today and organizations like the Wounded Warrior Project are one small way we can honor and remember those to whom honor and sacrifice are more than just words. Thank you for coming out today, and thank you to Don Morrison and the Wounded Warrior Project for all they do for the heroes of Iraq and Afghanistan. We now have the privilege to hear from 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. She's good. Okay. And I want to read her entire bio. I just met her this morning and I read her bio and it's worth listening to.